So if you've been keeping up with me, this entire month I've been ranting nothing but the golden age of cartoons and their reboots. People from our generation just love to put the classics on a pedestal, and they're always ranting about how they don't want companies to reboot them. But is it possible for a reboot to be done right? Hey everyone, Silly Drifloon here. When you reboot a series, it's like hitting the reset button. You're starting over completely. Whether it's having a fresh new take on the series, modernizing it, or just giving it a new style. Now, it's obvious why this concept is a slippery slope to many people. Fans of the classic series don't want to see the reboot get it wrong. And there are a lot of examples where they just get it wrong. I mean, how did Thundercats go from buff, muscly dudes to this squishy face-looking thing? And Teen Titans, another popular example. You have these heroic elite warriors who know how to have some fun sometimes, to going to complete jokes of their former selves. I mean, even Teen Titans Go to the Movies mention that they're just jokes.
We're in need of an arch nemesis, and we think you'd be a great fit.
You gotta be kidding me. You guys are a joke. Everyone knows that.
Sometimes fans would complain about a design change. Take Spyro, for example. I mean, how did Spyro go from looking like this to what? How? Yeah, and Reignited Trilogy and Insane Trilogy, they're not reboots. They are remastered versions of the classic games. Remastering is different from rebooting. When you remaster something, you're not changing a thing about it. Everything's the same. You're just making it look better, more updated. And sometimes a series can be remastered but not really repeated. More like continued. Kind of like Invader Zim Enter the Florpus. It's a direct continuation of the original series. But with a reboot, it's a complete retelling of the story. Something completely new. But even though it's something completely new and reboots are allowed to take liberties, fans do appreciate it when you stay true to the source material. Take Spider-Man, for example. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is completely different, with a completely different story from Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. All three are good in their own respective way. Companies typically decide when to reboot something if they see a need for it. You know, Spider-Man is very popular, so obviously he keeps coming back and back on a regular basis, practically. Sometimes the reason a company chooses to reboot a franchise isn't a good reason at all. I mean, look at examples like the Powerpuff Girls or Ben 10. They just rebooted Powerpuff Girls to be in with the modern trends, and they just rebooted Ben 10 so that they can have an excuse to sell toys. But the original Ben 10, for example, had an amazing storyline and took itself seriously when it needed to. The problem fans have with these shows is that rather than giving the character personality with silly moments, they make the entire show about silliness and nothing else. I mean, how do you go from a serious plot with epic storylines and some silliness here and there to just about shenanigans and nothing else? And that's the thing. What makes a good reboot is staying true to the source material. That's really it. Take DuckTales, for example. It stays true to what the original was, gives the characters likable personalities, and gives something new to the audience by providing lore to the story. This goes to show you that you can change whatever you want about the story, add whatever you want, but as long as you keep the heart of what it's supposed to be, what it was meant to represent, then you got a good reboot on your hands. Hopefully, the more we watch and support good reboots, the more companies will realize that it's not worth it to reboot a show for just shenanigans alone. And then we'll be in a world where every reboot is done right. Hopefully. Looking at you, Avatar for Netflix. Well, that's all I gotta say. Thank you again so much for watching my video. If you like it, please share it with your friends and family. And please share this video if you feel like you've learned something today. Well, until next time, don't forget to subscribe to join the Drifloon Army and hit the bell to be notified whenever I post again. Bye!